Hello everybody, this is the Gaming Pantry and this is the Retro Bear, the YouTube king of the community for the time being. And welcome aboard for another ship of pickups. Yes, that turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. Thank you very much indeed for being here. It's a pleasure to have you once again in the Gaming Pantry. Let us talk about the game in the room first of all. Once again, running off my Xbox, this is emulated, this is Star Wars 32X, the arcade game, which was out on the 32X, ironically enough. And yeah, it's very polygonal, as you can see from that, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's meant to be any good or not. I've never actually played this one, I've never even played this version of it. I remember the Sega arcade game, which came out years later, and sort of towards the end of the 1990s, which was very good, but this was before then. I didn't even know this game existed, but yeah, no, it doesn't look too bad, does it really, I suppose. We may see how the rolling demo plays as we go on. Anyway, hope you're well. And what we got here? Well, we got a mixture of stuff today. And my God, it is a right old mixture of stuff and all, because there's not a lot here. I did manage to make it out to the shops again, which was Saturday just gone, which is 24th of April, I think it was. I can't remember what day it is. 24th of April. It's my second trip out to the shops, and what a depressing trip it was as well. Absolutely nothing. One of my local town centres have been completely decimated by the fallout of the shops having to be shut for basically 7 or 8 out of the last 12 months. Absolutely ridiculous. So many of them have sort of gone out of business. I must have counted about 20 to 25 empty units today, which was really depressing to see, especially for somebody who works in a retail or a part retail environment. It's always very depressing to see something like that. More so the fact that amongst those casualties were 3 charity shops that I used to go into and a cash converters. Now I knew the cash converters had shut because I'd heard about it anyway. But yeah, it was really depressing to see, and usually I could probably spend a good hour and a half there. Today probably about 45 minutes, and that included the shuttle train journey, which takes about 2 minutes from the main train station to the town centre. It was really depressing. I'm not sure I shall go there for a bit possibly, but there weren't many people around either. It was really quiet for a Saturday. And I went to the little high street right by where I work, and they had nothing in there. Right, I say nothing. They had games, but sports titles or nothing. Sports titles, Wii Fit or nothing. It was pretty depressing. So whether everybody had cleared them out when the shops reopened on the 12th of April, or whether they've got nothing, because I keep seeing the signs in the shop. We don't want any more, no more donations. No, we've got plenty of stock. Where is it? It's obviously not games that they're having in anyway. So. And the CEX in this first town centre I went to, my goodness me, I have never seen so many reprinted covers on the shelves in my entire life. It was embarrassing. It really was. I alluded to this a couple of, over the last couple of years. I've said that this particular CEX has had on its online stock for that period of time, for the Wii, the Mummy, the Emperor's Tomb game, Curse of the Emperor's Tomb, what it was called, Mummy 3 film, and it's never been on the shelf, right? Never been on the shelf. It is now on the shelf with a reprinted cover. So obviously what they've done while lockdown's been on is they've gone through all their old stock, found all the stuff they got loose discs for, and reprinted a load of colours. Some of the colours aren't even the right colour. You know, you got Wii games with like blue covers printed for them. I've seen Xbox 360 stuff with blue covers printed for them. It is embarrassing, it really is. And it's such a shame to see, because again, it was a nice little CX, that one, but they so many reprinted covers, and man, I know they have to put cover reprinted on them, but you can just tell. You can just tell by looking at the spine. It's horrible. It really is. So actually, what this is, what we got here today is some stuff I've bought off online, one game I've got in the shops, just gone, a couple of things that have been sent to me, and something that Mrs. Bear's bought for me. So yeah, a little bit of a shortened pickup. So I was hoping there might be enough for 2 videos now, just the one this week. So we'll have to keep it like that. Let's show you the game I picked up in the shops. The only game I could find, and I'm pretty sure I overpaid for it as well. It's on the Xbox, and it's Mercenaries Playground of Destruction, which I think I had initially on a sort of a backup. It's not a bad copy. The manual's in good condition. The disc needs a bit of a clean up. It's not too bad. Pay £150 for this. I'm not sure how much it goes for in CX. Probably about between the £1 and £2 mark. It's not a drastically rare game to get, but I have got this for some reason on the PlayStation. Yeah, I have. I'm looking at the. There, I've actually got both Mercenaries games on the PlayStation 2. So I haven't got either of them on the Xbox. So that was nice to pick that one up. But like I said, that was just the one game I found. I couldn't find anything else at all. That was £1.50. Cost me more in a train ticket to go. That's terrible. Right, let's move on to some stuff that's been sent to me. See, it's going to be quite a quick video, hopefully, this one. Now, this has been sent to me by my very, very good friend, Pete Fighter 2, who you may remember. Those who've been following me for quite some time will know that me and Pete have been associates on YouTube and good buddies off YouTube for quite some time now. And I've always liked Pete's content. I always think he always undersells his content a great deal, and I've always loved watching his videos. I think he's great. He's got real personality. He's got a fantastic game room. Oh, if you've not seen, he did an hour and a half game room. Go and have a look. In fact, I'll put a thing in the bottom there. You can go and have a look at it yourself. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And he dropped off YouTube for a bit last year because work commitments and struggling to put, like as we all do, try and sort of sit down and work out what we're going to do content-wise. We came back, and a lot of people thrilled to see him back. And it's great to have him back, and hopefully long may it continue. But he's had some stuff for me for quite some time. I've still got to send him some things back, which is really embarrassing. I will be getting on with that. As to with anybody who I've said I'm going to send stuff to, which is going to be Martin, that UK gamer, and who's I'm going to send some stuff to? Oh, Pete, Pedro of the Bootleggers, and James, Time Warp James, got some stuff to send out to you as well. So if you're watching, on the off chance, yes, I still have got this stuff to send through to you. I'm just incredibly lazy. So what Pete sent me some stuff he's been holding on to for about a year, I think. Firstly is a manual for Ninja Blade on the Xbox 360. Now I'm guessing that I probably have bought this previously, and I didn't have a manual with it, but Pete said he had a spare one, because Pete tends to sort of specialise with the loose discs rather than have manuals knocking around. So he's going to get a bit of a surprise when his package arrives when I eventually send it. But yeah, it's a good condition manual. So that's a very nice condition manual, that one. Now I'm going to find out is where the game is. Must be here somewhere, I think. Anyway, thank you very much for that, Pete. I completely forgot you were going to send me that. This game he's been holding on to for me for about 12 months now, in fact over 12 months, because he bought it at the Doncaster Gaming Market, one of the very last gaming markets to have actually gone ahead before the first coronavirus shut down. And he just messaged me, he said, have you got this one? And I said, no. And he said, okay, I'll pick it up for you. And he's had it ever since. In fact, I think it's been in a couple of his videos in the background. So he sent it through to me. I must be honest with you, I'm not doing Peter a disservice here when I say this looks absolutely terrible. But this is the Wii game, The Island of Dr. Frankenstein, and it's sealed as well. Looking absolutely terrible, isn't it? I mean, talk about we've done these short videos of uninspiring covers. There you go. There's another one. Well, there's plenty on the Wii. Like I said, it's sealed, so I can't open it up. Well, I'm not going to open it up anyway. It's got triple language on the back, so it's usually by that more language on the back we say not quite as good, and I don't think that's a particularly good one either. I think it's 2 or 3 like this. I'm pretty sure there's the Tale of Despero as well, which is like with a mouse on the front of it from this Enjoy Gaming company. Anyway, but yeah, thank you very much indeed for that, Pete. That will sit nicely in the collection somewhere. I've had quite a few Wii games recently, so got 3 sent the other day, and yeah, so I can't find any in the shops. Now a bit of old kit, which not referring to Pete, but a bit of old kit which was sent to me by Pete as well. And again, we've been talking about this possibly for maybe even longer. A very long time ago, at work, I've been very fortunate that 3 people have given me micros over the sort of like the last 5 years at work. One guy was retiring and he said to me, you collect old computers and stuff, don't you? And at the time I wasn't. In fact, at the time he offered me what he offered me, this didn't exist. This was actually a spare bedroom. None of this happened. This was probably about 20... When did I go back to work? 2014 or 2015 this was offered to me anyway, and he said, well, the box is a bit knackered, he said, and I'm pretty sure that the power supply doesn't work. And he was absolutely correct in his assessment. Neither the box is a bit tatty and the power supply didn't work. Anyway, Pete said he'd got a spare one, which I think he said may or may not work, so I don't know. And it's a giant bugger of a thing, but yeah, it is a power supply for an Acorn, BBC Acorn Electron. It's not exactly the most exciting thing to show off, is it really? It's a giant plug. That's what power supplies used to look back. The weight in that is, again, absolutely horrific. But yes, the one I got doesn't work with it. We have tried it with a generic power supply, or sort of thing you can buy up and get it running. It works. The computer works absolutely fine. But yes, so he's been trying to send me that for ages. So thank you very much indeed for that. So those three things from Pete: the manual, the game, and the power supply. But yes, yes, they did go back to being what I've been offered at work. The Electron was the first thing I got offered. Then a guy who was also retiring, he actually came back, popped into work for something else, get some work done, and then he came to see me. He said, I was talking to another guy who'd left us, and he said he's told me to come and talk to you about this. I was like, oh yeah. He said, so you collect old computers and stuff. I don't know where it's come from. I don't know where people got the idea from. I collect old stuff. Absolutely no idea. And he said, Phil said, don't not sell it to, put it on the eBay. He says, come and offer it to you first of all. I said, oh, what is it then? Spectrum 48K. And anybody who's seen my Spectrum 48K video from going back ages will know the story behind that one. It didn't work. Had a RAM problem, but Mr. Bear managed to sort that out, and it works now. It's a beautiful example of a Spectrum 48K. Even the box is immaculate. I've got he's even left his credit card and receipts in from when he purchased it brand new back in 1983, I think it was. So that was off to me. And then the other one which I've been off to me, which I never put on the channel, so I may have to do that one day, was a BBC Model B Micro. The old big sort of BBC home computer type thing. Used to use at school if you're my age. And again, one of the ladies at work, she was having to clear out, and she said, see if it works. And it didn't. So, and then she completely forgot about it. And I said, oh, you know that computer you gave me? Which computer? The one, oh, you still got that? I said, yeah. I said, just letting you know it doesn't work, so I'm not going to be able to give you any money for it. Oh, don't worry about that. And then last year, of course, somebody gave me some games at work as well. So word gets around a little bit, put the word out. Don't tell them I'm doing this, obviously, because they won't watch it either, so no different to anybody else. Lovely. So that's it. Next thing, which was also sent to me as well, probably again going back a couple of 3 weeks, maybe even a month. Retro Chef's Swap Shop. Why do I keep mentioning it on that channel? I hate that show. No, it's good. If you've not seen it, go and watch it every other Sunday. In fact, it's when's it on next? 2nd of May. Sunday the 2nd of May at 8 o'clock on Retro Chef's channel. Rock up with whatever you've got to trade and things like that, and people pop on and do trades and sell stuff. And it's a really, honestly, I take the piss out of Lee a great deal, but he does a fantastic job with it, really has. And I've done a couple of those with him as well, first two I think it was, I did with him. Really, really good. Started back in January. I think, was it January? Yes, I think it was January. So it's going really, really well. Anyway, somebody, Geordie Slasher Gaming was in there as well. If you know Mark, a very, very nice guy. His channel's really caught fire, isn't it? He's a great guy. Really is a great guy. Mark collects all sorts of different stuff, not just games, but also the horror-related stuff as well. Really, really good guy. Loves his wrestling as well. So he's very much into a lot of stuff that we do in the community. And he mentioned he got this game, and I sort of I wasn't really paying much attention to what was going on at the time. And I sort of typed it. I said, oh, yes, I remember that game. I used to play that an awful lot. And anyway, out of the blue, Mark's got my email address anyway. He just sent me an email saying, do you want this? He says, because I don't collect for this particular computer. And, just stick a few quid in a charity tin next time we weigh past, which I've done. And he said, I'll send it to you. So I thought, great. And then I didn't realise what it was until I read the email, and then I was even more stunned. And this is Premier Manager 2 on the Amiga. You probably can't see down the bottom there, but there we go. Amiga. Yeah, there. Obviously my football management game of choice is Championship Manager, has been pretty much for a very long time. But the year before that came out, this came out, and I was hooked on this. In fact, me and a mate of mine used to pick a team each, and we used to play a season through in the older thing, the older non-league, work our way from the bottom. But yeah, what a great game! Used to love this, and it was even more interesting when I opened up the inside of it. I found out what was in there. There's a note. Hopefully you can take Gateshead to the football glory like I did back in the day, from Mark. so lovely to get these notes in there. Do keep those. People send you notes, keep them. It's got the old manual. It's got 3 discs in it. It's also got the old security wheel as well, which has immediately brought back memories. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, when you start the game up, it would ask you to sort of select the colour of kit, so you can see the colour of kit there. You match up the shirt and the short on the screens. Shirt and the shorts on the screen. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, get it right. And then there'll be a number on there, and then you look at that number, and then you type in the number that was in the little hole. Probably can't see there. So there's a number next to those little holes, and that would be what you had to type in, and then the game would load. Copy protection, brilliant. And obviously, if you've got the original copy of the game and you haven't got that, yeah, you're screwed basically. Luckily nowadays you can get all this stuff online, so you know. But this was pre-internet, 1992, 93. This was. But yeah, I used to love this game, played it to death, and then Championship Manager came along. I was very dubious about Championship Manager because it didn't get very good reviews. Everyone said it was really slow and it was all like boring statistics and all that. I like stuff like that. That's like moth to a flame for me. And as soon as I played Championship Manager 93, before the update to 94, 95, that hooked me. I never played Premier Manager ever again. I've got other Premier Manager. I've got Premier Manager 98. I am pretty sure I've got Premier Manager 3 on the Amiga. I've certainly got one of the console variants as well, possibly. It's a shame because that was a really, really fun game to play. Really, really was fun. But yeah, once Championship Manager came along, that was it. Right, what else have I been buying? So I've been buying stuff I've bought, which is rather good. 3 items I bought. You're going to wonder why I'm going to show this one off. I'm going to put that note back in there. I don't just, you know, sort of specialise in doing games. I've tried to sort of do a few different things on my channel over the years. Done CDs, I've done my wrestling videos. Recently I've done Doctor Who video collection. I've done my Carry On DVDs as well. Not everybody's who watches this sort of stuff is going to watch that sort of stuff. I do appreciate it. But I've got a lot of other things I'm interested in. One of those is cartoons, particularly sort of old cartoons. Very much into that sort of stuff. And I've been after this DVD for ages. I saw it years and years ago in a charity shop down by Mrs. Bear's mum's. And I thought, do I buy it? It was a couple of quid, and I thought, do I buy it? Don't I buy it? And I thought, no, if I buy that, the first thing Mrs. Bear's going to say is, why have you bought that for? Why have you bought that for? Wasting your money again. So I thought, no. Anyway, didn't see it again after that. And of course, the price that it all went up to about 10, 12 quid at one point, maybe even a bit more. And then I was searching around on eBay, and all of a sudden I found a copy of it for £6.50, I think it was, which I think is about the going, well, just a little bit more than the going rate in CX, £6.50 posted. It was Music Magpie off eBay, so I thought, oh well, you know, £6.50, I'll have that. Anyway, it arrives in good time. Broken. What it is, it's the Yogi Bear show, the complete series. Now this is the original Yogi Bear series from the 1961, I think it was. 61, maybe even 62. But yeah, it sort of arrived in 1,000 pieces. Bits of plastic are broken off the inside. And when it arrived here, all three of the 4 DVDs were actually rattling around. Luckily I managed to fix 2 back in. There is just the one here, which is that finger there, is actually just will not stay in. So when I rattled it there, I was just sort of rattling the front cover off it. There should also be a slipcase with it as well. There should be a cardboard slipcase. The reason I know that is because I've got some others in this series, which I'm hoping to do a video on at some point in the future. Not many, but this is it. But for me, this is a sort of thing that from my childhood, and it isn't the stuff you're going to see on television nowadays. And when I first got cable television back at the end of '93, We had Cartoon Network, and it had all the old cartoons on there. Then they started Boomerang up, which was about the end of the 90s. They moved all the old cartoons to there. Now they've moved all the old cartoons off. So unless it's Scooby-Doo for some reason, Scooby-Doo gets an exception. Anything else from sort of like the 60s and 70s, completely forgotten about, which is a real shame. All the Flintstones, I know I'm obsessed with the Flintstones. So this sort of thing, you know, you're not going to see it on television nowadays. It's simply going to be a case of sort of picking these up in this sort of format. It's got all 33 episodes in the TV series, and yeah, I'm just happy to have it. I'm just happy to have it. Not because it's a bear, but I don't know, I just like Yogi Bear. I always have done. Yogi's alright by me. But yeah, so the Yogi Bear show. But yeah, I think I've got 6 of those now. There aren't many of them because they didn't sell very well when they came out. I think they've done American, on the American side, a lot more Hanna-Barbera releases came out. Very few came out over here. I think the Flintstones got released. Scooby-Doo, I think they did the first 2 series of Scooby-Doo. But yeah, another video to come at some point in the future. I'm into that sort of stuff. I like Tom and Jerry as well, and the Warner Brothers, the Looney Tunes and stuff like that. And the old stop motion and the old children's TV programs as well from the 60s and 70s. You know, the Herbs and Bagpuss and stuff, Ivor the Engine and stuff like that. Yeah, could go on for hours, but that's time for a different video. Next thing I bought. Now I bought this off eBay as a bit of a whim because I wasn't quite sure how it would work out. I'm still not quite sure how it's going to work out. I think I paid about 11 quid for this, including postage, and it's this, which is another weird and wacky peripheral for my collection. This is the Zoomer. Yeah, it's the Zoomer, which is a sort of arcade-style flight joystick type thing, which should. Yeah, it doesn't. You probably won't be able to see that there, but there is a little bit of a function there for it to sort of rock back and forth. Basically, for sort of like aviation games, I'm guessing you could probably use it for car games as well, racing games. One thing I do not like is these fire buttons at the top here, because for me they should be there, but they're there, which is I'm not quite sure. And there's also a sort of a rapid fire by the looks of it as well down there. Yeah, when it got here, it wasn't in the greatest state. In fact, it had a Mrs. Bear repair job on it. Someone had tried to secure the central column, I think it was, with glue, and it hadn't sort of stuck properly, so it needed a full strip down and clean out. But it looks okay. I haven't tried it properly yet, but I need to do so. It is the old standard controller on the end there, plug-in type thing. I'm not having much luck with joysticks lately. Hopefully this will be alright, but it doesn't look in bad nick. Needed the service on it. I'll let you know how I get on with that. If anybody's got one of those or any experience of playing with those, let me know, because I'd like to know whether I've bought a white elephant or not. Yeah, so that's going to try that one out at some point. I'm not sure how good that will be, but I just like that. It looks quite good, doesn't it? It's not like the quick shot one with the sort of the gyroscope in the middle of it, but yeah, I don't know. I like looking at things like that. They're a bit sort of strange, a bit weird. Right, next thing that I bought, or the last thing that I bought this off eBay as well. And you're probably going to wonder, why do you buy this from eBay? We've already got this in so many other formats. Well, yes, but you know, boss, Yahoo sucks to you. It's my channel, my money. I'll do what I want with it. Nice to have some. It's been a long time coming, this has. I know people have said that as well about, you know, what we've done with the real Retro Bear, and yeah, I just you know, things are changing again at work as well. They changed last year, and they're changing this year again, and after doing my own job, doing this job now for 13 months, I've now been moved back to my old job, which is very strange. But not because I've done a bad job on this job. I've done a very good job on this job. It's just that it's got some staffing changes coming up, and I'm the best person to go back and do this job. Originally they took me off, so it's like everything with the COVID situation, the last 13 months have been absolute blur. But yeah, it's another one. Anyway, it's just a story for another time. Yeah, so I picked this up and I thought it was a cracking price. I don't really need it, but I thought it was a great price. This is the C64 Mini. Now, this is not the microcomputer, this is the Mini, so the one with the dummy keyboard. But I paid $44.99 for this, including delivery, off eBay. And there's a guy who's got 10 of them, and I think I had the third one, so we had 7, at least 7, doesn't it? Yeah, well done, keeping up at home. Yeah, so 7 of them left, but yeah. So I don't really need that, but there are a lot of C64. So I've obviously got 2 C64s, a lot of data cassettes, loads of tapes. So I don't really need this, but the way I see it is that there are going to be games that I can get onto a USB via this. You can upload your own games to this, which is fine. The facility is there to do that, and there's stuff that I can get off the internet and put onto here, which I can't play because I don't actually have the physical copy, which is fine, and I can play with HDMI and I can record them through my capture card as well. So in a way, it's okay. It's probably halfway to, you know, sort of say, okay, I could probably justify a 50% purchase on it. Plus the fact it's a mini. I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 or 5 of these now. They're beginning to grow a little bit, but no, I thought it was just a good price. I know they're more than that. So they're about 70, 80 quid when they came out. Can't remember. So 45 quid, including postage. And it's a fairly weighty old thing. It came in a very, very professionally packed box as well. So it came from a business, which was fantastic. But yeah, and what it is, you've got 64 games preloaded on there. It supplies you with a joystick, which is meant to be terrible. There was somebody selling one with 2 joysticks for about another tenner, which was strange. And like I said, it's a dummy keyboard, so the keyboard doesn't work, but you can plug a USB keyboard into it. So if there are text adventures you want to play, there is School Days, which is you need text function for to play, which is uploaded onto this one as a standard game. 64 games, which I'm not going to read the title off, but I'll just show you the back of the box and get it. Oops, deafened you all by dropping that very, very close to my chest. But it's been about out some time, this one, and the microcomputer came out last year, which is basically the same sort of thing. It's a proper size Commodore 64 with a working keyboard. Apart from that, it is exactly the same as this, and I don't need one of those. I need, you know, this is there. So this is there to play games on that I don't already have, and I think that's a good price. Like I said, you are able to upload your own games to it as well. You can sort of whack them onto a USB stick and upload them. You can do programming in it. If you get yourself a USB keyboard, you can do programming and BASIC in it as well. So it's a fair bit of kit, and I think it got a pretty good ride when it came out. The joystick got a lot of stick. A lot of people didn't like the joystick. That's all. I don't think you can actually put your own joystick into it. But yeah, so 45 quid. I'll put the top there as well. And yeah, so it's there we go, HDMI compatible. 64 games pre-installed and instruction manual, and some very, very funky music. And you can also plug this into a television or monitor with a HDMI port. So, very nice. I've left it in a plastic bag, so I'm taking it out yet because I have to play with it. So I've got the real one set up, which is what I need. And then finally, the last thing I'll show you today. And I showed this on the short video. I like these short videos, they do very well. Anybody seen the... been uploading some bad game cover and good game cover type shorts, and they seem to do very well. I don't know why. Probably that's because about 50 seconds is all people can stand of me, I'm guessing. Probably about right, actually. But yeah, they do very well. If you've not experienced the world of shorts, go and have a look. So I put this up there a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't actually shown it off properly. I'm just trying to give you a proper story without this white down in my cloth, because I haven't done so yet. It has been sitting up here for a couple of weeks, so I'll just take the dust off it. Yes, so a couple of weeks ago, I came home from work and there was a box, and Mrs. Bear said, "I bought you a present." I thought, "Oh, that's nice of you, thank you very much indeed." Not so much you bought me a present, in the fact I bought you something and you have to pay me back for it. So I've still got to sort that out yet. That's my way of reminding me to remind her to remind me to pay her for it. Anyway, last year I said I was going to try and get a couple of items which I haven't got I would like. I picked up an Atari ST at the end of last year, which is one of those items. PC Engine still eludes me, and probably will. I've now got the Mini, but that probably will elude me for quite some time. This one, however, I thought it was going to do. And then this year I've had an offer. I had an offer from James at It's Much More. James, if you're watching this, don't panic. because I still like our arrangement to stand. And he basically sort of said to me, "Oh, my brother's got one of these. If Mrs. Bear can repair it, I've got one I can send you, and you can have that as sort of like a thank you." And I said, "Fantastic." And I still want to go ahead with that, James. So don't think that this here now means we're not going to do that. So the other item that I'd on that list, or sort of like three, I'd really like to get hold of, is this one. It's a mighty beast. I think it's the biggest one of the three. It is the Amstrad CPC 464. Now the CPC 464. Yeah, with, where's it, that one there? I can't work out which things I'm doing there. I'm looking at a picture of me on there trying to hold this up, trying to work out handies. So this one here with the old tape deck built in, which I know a lot of people don't like on the Spectrums, but that's how it is. And I've never owned one of these. I've seen them in the shops. I've never known anybody at school with one. I've never known anybody to have one. I've never played on one. So to actually have one now is absolutely fantastic. I just like the look of it. It just looks very sort of that era. I like the green. I like the colours on the keyboard. Reds and greens and blue. It just adds a little bit different to it. It's got the tape deck. Now this is where the problem comes in. Unfortunately, although the tape thing does open up and shut, there is apparently a problem with the tape deck, which I think is probably going to be a sort of a, what do they call them? Rubber band that goes like the tape thing, you know what I mean. So it probably just requires that changing on it. But other than that, it's good nick. There's some giant great serial port and things at the back there. There we go. We like a serial number, so I try and read these out if I can do. Oh, there we go. Wrong way around. So serial number 53169025536. So it's not an early one. Live parts inside, do not remove any screws. Yeah. But there we go. So that is it. Now I've been absolutely dying to get one of these. What's put me off over the years is what I understood about Amstrad is they came with a monitor, either a green monitor, as in a green screen monitor, or a colour one. And usually the only ones you can get hold of online on eBay are the green ones. I mean, who wants to play games in green screen? Terrible. So, I mean, I could have bought one of those units for about 15 quid ages ago at a car boot sale. It was missing a key, which was not a problem, but of course I thought, oh, you need the monitor. But Mrs. Bear's been doing her research. You don't need the monitor to come with it. What you need is one of these. And this is the Amstrad power module. Now, hopefully I've got this correct, but when they were making these games, when they're making these computers, they weren't actually putting a power supply in there. The power supply, I think, was going into the monitor. So when you bought them as a package, and bearing in mind that the green screen one and the colour one, there's £100 difference. If from what I've read on the internet correctly, is that there was no power supply in the computer, so when you plugged the monitor into the computer had the power supply, the monitor had the power supply built into it. That's where it was. Now, if like me you had an Amiga as a kid, you would know that you couldn't plug your Amiga into the television or a television because there was nothing there to do it. It had to go into the monitor. You needed the TV modulator. It was a giant bit of plastic which stuck out the back of the Amiga. Now I know for this because I used to have my dad bought a monitor with our Amiga. And every now and again, when they were on holiday, I was on school holidays and they were at work, I would take the Amiga into the lounge and plug it in via the modulator into the back of the telly. This enables me to do that without needing the monitor. So that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. So that takes out the necessity of doing that. And also it came with, where are we? One of these cables from Made in Britain. No, where are they? The Retro Computer Shack. There's loads of things like this on the internet, and basically SCART lead, and then there's a thing to connect it all up with there. So should be able to give me a decent output on it as well. So that is really, really good. And that, I think, was a very, very reasonable price as well. Usually, if you want to buy that with the monitor and stuff, you're looking around about 100 notes. Got it for less than that. I can't remember exactly what it is. I didn't fall over and grab my heart, clutching my chest with pains when she told me how it was, but I usually do. But yeah, so to get that with that kit there as well, you don't see them all that often. Usually it's either it's on its own or it's got the monitor with it, and sort of 8 times out of 10 it's the green monitor with it, which is a real annoyance. But yeah, but to have that Amstrad now, obviously we need to replace the I even thought of it a second ago, but it's the belt in the tape recorder. And replace the belt in the tape recorder and get that working. And I've got some Amstrad games already. I've got some off a couple of trades which I've done. So hopefully she'll be able to crack some Amstrad gameplay on as well. Brilliant, isn't it? But that just leaves me now the PC Engine to pick up, which is probably the last system I haven't got, which I would the system I've not got, which I would like. I look around, and I thought about this long and hard before I came on here. I thought, yeah, that probably is it. If I get the PC Engine, even though I've got the mini version, I think the PC Engine just probably, because I always saw one in the magazines when I was a kid. I wanted an ST because I had an Amiga when I was a kid. I wanted to see how good the ST was, because a friend of mine always used to talk about it. He used to have one. I've always wanted an Amstrad because I've never played on one. You know, everybody at school was playing on Commodore 64s and Spectrums. I wanted to play, you know, well, what about the Amstrad? I want to play on one of them. The PC Engine because I saw it in the magazines and they never came out over here. So yeah. There you go, that's it. I'm surprised that's gone 36 minutes, which is wonderful because I thought that might be a 20-minute video. How the hell have I managed to do that? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you have, don't forget to do that. Yeah, that thing there. That would be lovely if you can do. Like, subscribe, comment, tick the notification bell for more notifications when I upload a video. Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much indeed for watching. This is the Retro Bear saying toodaloo. We will see you again very soon. Bye for now.